Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the new week. I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, as you can see, Bitcoin very strong, pretty much a straight shot up from around this $40,000 level. Straight shot up towards the important level for me, this 58,500. We'll actually extend our box across just so we've got it in here now that we are operating towards these lofty heights. So yeah, what can we expect this week? I mean, it's been a pretty much straight shot up. We know things don't go up in a straight line, and also we know Bitcoin does have savage pullbacks. So yeah, maybe we get a third and final leg, a first leg, a second leg, and then this be a third leg. Maybe it breaks us above this level. We operate we move towards 60,000, 61, maybe even 62, and maybe that will be the point where we then basically come and test some actual downside. So yeah, that is obviously on the cards. It has been a spot driven rally. Leverage ratios haven't gone up much whilst open interest has gone up. They're therefore implying it's spot driven, which is more sustainable, which is obviously why we've managed to do this basically, in my opinion. But yeah, things are looking good. Things are looking good for Bitcoin, looking very strong. But like I said, it's important. It is approaching an important level. It would make sense for us to break above, wick above, on maybe a daily basis, and then potentially come back below the 58,500, and then maybe even test. I mean, the most bullish level I think would be around 53,000. So if we broke above, came back, tested this old resistance as new support, and then turned up from there, I think that would be game on. But we could certainly test lower. We could test the double O. It's not even a double O, it's a quadruple O. We could test the quadruple O of 50,000, and then potentially bounce and move up. But yeah, things will look good as long as we don't. Well, I think realistically, as long as we don't take out the 50,000. We will look good for basically a nice healthy bull run into the end of the year. Obviously, still altcoins are currently getting wrecked. They are not keeping up with Bitcoin at all. Dollar value pretty much just yeah, I mean, it's just trading sideways, as you can see. At least Ethereum is above this important level, tested it as support. Maybe we do get an acceleration now. We've broken above, test the support, and if we break back above this horizontal we've got in here, which is these highs and these highs, these most recent highs, maybe we then do see that acceleration up to 4,000 and beyond. Obviously things are looking dire in this chart, but things are always darkest before dawn. We know how crypto works. It moves down until it doesn't, and then it moves up, or it moves up until it doesn't anymore, and then it literally collapses down. We know how this is. Bitcoin dominance as well, if you want to have a look at that. For you double top traders, people looking for double tops, hey, maybe we actually get a double top here, maybe we do, but yeah, we shall see what happens. But as you can see, we basically we have broken above this important level, rejected again, consolidated below it, broken above it again. So are we gonna test this as support, or are we gonna continue upwards? What I will obviously say, if Bitcoin does make that leg up above 58.5, potentially into 60, we know obviously altcoins are not going to keep up in that instant. But that will potentially be the last of this iteration of bullish price action, and then we shall we should test the sideways to down. Maybe it will just be sideways. Maybe we will accelerate enough above 58.5 for 58.5 to be the support level. We shall have to see how bullish Bitcoin decides it wants to be. The dollar index also looking very pennanty after a nice move up, but yeah, we are at important levels. Obviously, we can break out of ascending broadening wedges, but we shall have to see what happens. Obviously, there's the tapering talk, but I don't think the Fed, which is basically a political institution now, has, especially after the weaker jobs numbers, doesn't particularly have the political capital to really do any significant tapering or well, it's not even tightening, but tapering or anything other than just printing more money. People just don't want it. People's psychology has changed massively over this period. They've realized that basically we could do what we want. Governments can do what we want. People can just get paid. Billionaires can just get richer even when there's nothing going on, no economy. You can get paid to do nothing. People just want money for nothing now. They've seen that the dollar certainly hasn't collapsed, has it? So yeah, people's psychology has changed. People don't want to go back to the office. I mean, that has massive ramifications for the real estate market, which is basically like the cornerstone of the banking system. The cornerstone of its actual real banking system. Obviously, it has all the casino, but that they operate in. But like the nearest thing to like real assets they pretty much have is obviously their loan portfolios, mortgage portfolios. But yeah, they are a lot sold on to investors, but banks do hold a lot and have a lot of exposure to that. But yeah, so basically what I'm saying is the real estate market goes kaput. Because there's no demand for office space, then I mean, where does that leave the system? But yeah, there's lots of things, lots of reasons why people just have changed massively. I mean, it's wild. People have swung so far left, so far socialist, so far believing in MMT and all that cool stuff, and it is a recipe for disaster at some point. But I mean, predicting the end of these things is basically what you don't want to be doing. The trend is your friend, basically, and wildness. But basically what that means for the context of the dollar, with a lot of this wildness happening in the US, is that it has got potential to come down. That is my view, and that's what it is based on. Yes, anyway, the 10-year following the dollar up, getting stronger as well, again, with people either believing the Fed is going to taper, or just literally the fact that the bond market is waking up to somewhat the reality of the situation. But don't forget, all this other stuff I'm talking about is all these bad things are deflationary. So there is massive potential for deflation. Basically we do, like, the whole current financial system is inherently deflationary. As much as people think it's inflationary, but there are factors that can then at times make it appear to be inflationary or have inflation. But ultimately, there are a lot of factors like demographics, the actual overwhelming size of the debt, which has grown exponentially, which is massively deflationary, and technology. Clearly, technology is deflationary. Clearly, but yeah, there are massive factors, secular deflationary factors, and we'll just get the occasional cyclical inflation. And I mean, you could argue a lot of it is literally just supply chains. I mean, lots of people do just argue it is just supply chains. But on that supply chain aspect, supply chains, I think, are going to be wrecked for a while because, just because obviously China is making moves, and basically populism and nationalism. Nationalism not so much at the moment, but it probably will come back in once times get a bit harder. Interesting times. What else do we look at? Yeah, we'll look at the stock market futures. Again, it is bouncing in the support area. It's kind of got to hold this level and move and push on upwards for us to look good. The main takeaway that obviously other people have been talking about is that stock markets have shown considerable weakness. If we do look at the overall move up we had, and then this overall move down, in the context of Bitcoin showing what is considerable strength in the context of this weakness, but showing strength basically. But yeah, obviously it's relative, and relatively it is even stronger than it is nominally, relative to stock markets. Used relative a lot there, didn't I? But so interesting times. So yeah, we'll have a look at the stochastics. I mean, are they getting tired? Are they gonna get us up to and above 58.5? 4 hour certainly has some juice in the tank. I don't know why I clicked on 8 hour, but yeah, it was looking good. Let's look at that slow low latency 10-hour chart. Yeah, 10 hour kind of bullishly resetting here, so has got the potential to hold up there, move up. 12-hour is turning back up from here. Daily looking good. And then 2-day, very strong, looking good. 3-day, obviously, we know all these are looking good. These are pretty much telling us, weekly turn down here. These are pretty much telling us that we are potentially looking very close to turning up here. Is that these are telling us, based on this read, that obviously all-time highs, new all-time highs are incoming. And then trending. Obviously, we know when we hit highs, we know that Bitcoin just goes parabolic and goes on and on. So it is looking extremely likely. But we know we get savage pullbacks. This is just how this is just how crypto works. But like I said, what I will say, the leverage ratio isn't particularly high, but that has allowed us to do this. But at some point we will see a pullback. At some point, obviously, the people that are buying spot maybe take some profits, such as the Bitcoin whale that was selling 3,000 BTC last week. So yeah, I mean, people do trade this because it does move wild. It does have large ranges. And so yeah, there we go. So this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I hope we all have a great week. Hope we all had a great weekend, and I shall speak to you guys soon.